honey, wake up. Dragon.
No.
Oh, Dragon, wake up. Dragon, wake the hell up now.
I'm up. So I just graduated from high school, and I'm finally done. I've got about 15 years of tales to tell, so I won't tell them all in this video. It's impossible. And the ones I have time for. I'm trying to make it a video for ADHD audiences as well. It's hard enough as it is trying to make everything interesting. Before I ever went to school, I vividly remember mom dropping my siblings off, and then, like the smaller me I am, because right now I'm only 5'6", and I was even smaller when I was young. I think they knew that. I remember laying on my mom's side because, I was like maybe 2 feet tall, watching Harry Potter while we waited to go get my siblings from the elementary school. And for those who wonder what my favorite movie was from that series, it was the second one with the flying car. Because, you'll find out why in a second. So I went to school, I want to say starting like, I don't know, it's like a normal age for a preschooler, like, 4 years old? There was this kid in our class, I remember, that would absolutely pull out everyone's hair. Like, it hurt. It taught me not to pull on people's hair. I also remember when I was growing up, I absolutely loved firefighters. Literally, the only reason why I wanted to be one was because I wanted to drive a big old red, fire truck. It was because I was a Tonka kid. I love Tonka trucks. And if I had to choose my dream car, if you're wondering, it's a '69 Dodge Challenger. Anyway, later that that thought process would depict the classes I would take in high school. Kindergarten was interesting. I love the teacher. It's also where I got my love for the movie Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That might be a precursor to why I'm a furry. But yeah, I remember being such a like a people pleaser kid. I hated getting into it like any other kid, but I was a wee little different. I'll get to that later. One kid thought heck was a bad word, though. Like, story time. One kid thought heck was a bad word, and this kid just made me absolutely cry. I thought it was the worst thing in the world. Oh, you poor little child. Little do you know that would be the least of your worries. I also remember feeling really bad about breaking this teacher's timer because, like, she let me hold it and I dropped it. I remember shaking so bad. Also, kids in my elementary school. Blah, blah. Stutter sucks. Were absolutely diabolical at times. I was a hella gullible kid. Duh, I have a dog brain. At least half of it is. If you told me that you were gullible on the ceiling, I would sure look back then. Like, I'd probably say it was there too. And these kids knew exactly how gullible I was. In fact, like, I'm still somewhat gullible. Bullying is definitely part of the school experience, but these kids left me with issues. First grade was interesting too. I got to go to first grade twice. I can feel you judging. I know. It still hurts. Shush. Maturity-wise, I'm a year behind. I definitely was not ready for second grade. Mom kept me back because she felt it would help me, and I mean, it did. I mean, academically, I flew through the second year of first grade. God, that feels weird to say. I made the AB honor roll, where the year before all I had was C's and F's. As you can see on this paper, it was not good. Notice how I said academically. Later, it would bite me in the ass. I'm gonna be a little goober, get on the table and just be dumb because I can do that now. So, Anyway, the rest of my elementary school experience, or as posh people say from the East, primary school, was very interesting to say the least. I was honestly a very quiet kid. I know, shocking, but like, when I say quiet, I mean if I didn't talk to you first, I probably would never talk to you at all. As I mentioned before, I have ADHD and social anxiety, but oh boy, there's only symptoms. My main thing was, I'm gonna stop right there because I didn't find out until later in my life. So you guys don't get to find out until later in the video. So, I don't know. And that was the reason why I felt so different. My brain is neurologically different.
Yes, it is, honey. And I love you for it. What?
It was one of the reasons why I had like really bad anger issues. That rage wouldn't really go away till later, and it really didn't help that I stutter. So I would get upset, stutter, because I was upset, and then get even more angry, this would be a cycle for like a while, and I still have issues with this because it's very frustrating. Now you may be wondering, why did I choose such a dark room to voice my middle school side of my schooling? You're about to find out. It was also like really dark in the building, so that's always fun. Oh yeah, the best time of the schooling experience. Hormonal tweens trying to act like adults. So this is where I would honestly find all my hobbies and like interests, and where I started to play my instrument that I would play for the next 7 years of my life, and where I would also find my voice and my love of singing. My first day of 6th grade, I started my first ever period in band class, and I got my trombone and I started playing it. I'm gonna go unpack it. Hang on, I'll be right back. So I got it. You can hear me. I don't know if this is going to be a good idea, and my thing's hooked around it. Because like I don't know if this mic can pick it up or not, or if it's just gonna crap out as soon as I start playing it. So let me see what I can do here. Let me just. You're gonna hear a lot of smacking noises because I gotta wet my lips because it's dumb. Hopefully that picked it up. Now, I played a rental for the first semester, and for the second semester, I got my trombone that I would play till high school. The one you just heard me play, my trombone, I got in January of my 6th grade year that same year. Also, I will mention that we would have a school presentation outside of band for like don't do drugs, or don't do stuff, but don't do the bad stuff. And I will also mention the officer that did this segment for our lovely 6th grade class. You scared the absolute crap out of me. You did your job. Good job. You kept me out of drugs. But yeah, it's a fun time. Now, 7th grade year, that wasn't really much to talk about because like nothing really happened. 7th grade year was just straight line through. Like I don't know what you want me to say. Now, of course, I got better at my instrument. In fact, I think we got gold at the local junior like instrument thingy. So that was fun. And there's this one kid that I absolutely think is a poopy head. Which I never thought I'd ever actually say, like in a demeanor. But yeah, he told the teacher I was doing something inappropriate on my school computer. Oh no, not something wrong on my school computer. I was playing a car game. I didn't really get in trouble, but I definitely didn't like that kid after that. And another kid was a manipulator. 8th grade year was definitely a good year for me, for both like mentally and physically. It's also just a really big like just milestone year in general, considering what happened that year, and it was 2020. So I was at the top of the food chain of my middle school experience. I was sitting in science with my friends doing the school year stuff, and it was my last period. Oh, but Dragon, you never talked about your stupid singing experience, so you should talk about that. You did do your singing experience. You did go to like choir, right? Like I'm not, bro. I taught myself, and it shows. I never had the time in my schedule for it, considering I was a band kid since my brothers were into band. I helped fit in their marching shoes. Like quite literally, I helped fit them for uniforms. Is what I meant to say. Like I put shoes on them. um, yeah. Speaking of that, I did marching band as an 8th grader and continued to do it for 5 years. But back to the story, I was sitting in science class and the announcements came on. Now the announcements sound something like this. Good afternoon, Idiot Middle School. Butterscotch County City Schools will be doing e-learning for the next 2 weeks due to concerns over the spread of COVID-19. We hope to see you soon. A moment that we all celebrated at the time. But oh buddy, would you realize that this was not going to be another 2 weeks. This was going to be a pretty hellish 2-3 years. That would be the last time I ever sat in that class. Unfortunately. Not really unfortunately, but you know. The last time I ever set foot in that school would be the student locker cleanout. As a student, anyway. I would still go there for to watch my friends' sisters plays, and this doesn't matter. Anyway, next chapter of my life. The high school experience was very interesting because I went to high school during COVID. Before high school, I spent the summer going to my cousins for swimming, like I normally did. But that's all we did. With the growing political heat and the anxiety-ridden public, this gave me the worst mentality I've ever had. I went through my first year of high school wearing a mask, and I absolutely hated it because it made everything feel worse. You got allergies, snot and sweat was just trapped in your face. Acne was at an all-time high. No one was having fun. People say, "Oh, furries, we wear giant suits and shit." I'm like, well, yeah, that's true, but it still sucks. Now, after all that, I would get my first girlfriend on my birthday, actually, and she eventually talked me into going to see a therapist to get diagnosed because she saw all the things I was going through. And back to the announcement I would have made if I didn't rudely interrupt myself, I got diagnosed with OCD, which explains everything that I just talked about for the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years before that. So, no, maybe 10, 11 years. But anyway, this disorder haunted me without any name since I was born, because you're born with it. And I finally had a name for it. This disorder caused all the symptoms I was feeling, severe anxiety, my ADHD symptoms, and at times depression. Speaking of depression, my second year would be my depression year because guess who broke up with me that next year? My first girlfriend. Now, this sparked a very long, healing process because first love is tough. Duh. Luckily, that same year, my current best friend would move in, and honestly, I think it was just God's gift to me that year because it was a tough year. But yeah, we went to amusement parks. Of course, when COVID would allow, we'd go biking. We'd hang out all the damn time, and yeah, honestly, I treasured the time I had with them. Now, junior year wasn't much to talk about. It was other than we had a really good jazz band. My best friend was in that band, the guy I was just talking about, and we sounded really, really good. Now, senior year, it was very interesting to me to say the least. When I mentioned that the year behind maturity wise would bite me, this was the year that it bit me. I was a year older than everyone at 2, so I felt out of place. I felt like I just shouldn't be there. It didn't help that I didn't really connect with any of my friends in school, and honestly, there were times I wish I would have just disappeared out of their lives. There were times that they just drove me nuts, and it wasn't really good. And I definitely love the good times, though. This year was very depressing up until the last couple months of school, and then I started getting out of this funk that I was stuck in. So I'm finally here. I finally made it out of high school. I officially graduated on the 6th last week, so in case y'all want to separate, yay, I did it. But I know that was a longer video than what I try to make because a lot of my audience is normally ADHD filled, but that was like 15 years plus of my life. So, sending that into like, I don't know, a 10, 15-minute video, that's fine. I'll take that. But, so yeah, I'm very proud of myself, both with the video and with how I graduated. I graduated with academic technical honors, 3.7 weighted GPA, of course, and my work ethic certificate. Now, I'm gonna go because I've talked way too long, so yay!